I thought I'd do a quick little video today. The dog's scratching. I know it's been a little while since I put my last video up. I've been really busy battling one of the real battles of dialysis, which of course is the exchange of money. Dialysis is extremely expensive, so every time I turn around there's always something going on with the insurance side of things, especially since I stopped working. I was posting a update on Facebook earlier. Just put little tidbits of information on Facebook to keep my family in the loop, without trying to freak anybody out, because I'm still learning as I go along. So it's been almost 3 years since I started dialysis, and it's one of those things where even now things are changing to the point where I have to learn new procedures, and of course the balance is always changing, because you have food versus dialysis, the amount of water in your body versus how much you're losing through the dialysis versus how much you're urinating out, things like that. So I've got to the point now where I pretty much don't urinate at all. So I've had trouble for the last week of having like pulmonary edema. Whenever I would lay down, I would have a little bit of swelling in my legs, but not enough to bother me, not enough to worry about. But it got to the point when I would lay down, it would get hard to breathe. I could feel fluid in my lungs, so it was making it hard to sleep. That would make stress, your blood pressure goes up, and then it throws everything out of whack. So I had to have that fixed, which was just putting a higher percentage dialysis solution on, which pulls more water off in there. I get it out of my body. I had someone ask me a question earlier today, which I thought was pretty interesting. He's a possible, he's still looking at his options for dialysis, and he was asking about peritoneal dialysis. And he was asking if I had any trouble picking up weight. So he was saying that one of the people that he was talking to was saying he wouldn't be able to pick up more than 30 pounds. Which I thought was pretty interesting. It makes sense, of course. Now, if you're actually doing an exchange, I wouldn't recommend picking up a whole crap load of weight, because that might, you might give yourself a hernia. You are at high risk for getting a hernia when you have your fluid in your stomach. Now, my last bill is only 2,000. That's 2 liters. But when I actually do exchanges at night with the machine, it's 2.5 liters. And that extra half a liter does make a pretty good difference, especially from a comfort level. So I try not to do too much when I'm hooked up to the machine, but when I'm working out and I'm doing my arms and stuff, I use 30 pounds just goofing around with my arms. So of course, one of the great ironies is the boxes that I get from Baxter are 33 pounds a piece for the 6 liter by 2 bags. So it's 12 liters. Each liter is almost, or approximately, 1 pound. So it's, or I'm sorry, not 1 pound, 1 kilogram. So 1 kilogram is like 2.2 some odd pounds. So, the 12 liters, when you multiply it by 2.2, it's really 24. But when you actually weigh the box on a thing, the average is about 33 pounds. So, I have no trouble picking up that weight at all. It's not an issue to me. And I pick up the dog. When I play around with the dog, our dog is 42 pounds. So I've never had an issue. All of my numbers are still really good. It's been pretty annoying because me and my wife went up to the Carolinas to see the eclipse, and I thought I put in my order, and from my memory I did put in my order, but the ladies at the center were saying that I didn't put in the order, so I wouldn't get a delivery. But I had enough boxes to last until my next delivery, which was fine. I could care less. And then now there's a stupid hurricane that might come through the state, so instead of having the extra week on hand that I would normally have, I'll have to use that up until my next delivery. So that's been a pain in the neck. But I haven't had too many questions from observers or people on Facebook. So it's been pretty quiet. haven't been swelling too much. My biggest issue was, like I said, it was breathing. I was getting fluid in my lungs from having too much water in my body, so I had to use a higher percentage of dialysate than I normally would, and that got it off. No problems, no big deal. The ladies at the center, everybody, all my numbers are pretty good. My blood pressure was a little high, but that's not a big deal. I know why that was high. That was just been being bad and eating bad food. But everything else has been pretty good. Again, if you guys have any questions, you can always put them in the comments, and I'll see if I can answer them as best I can with the next video. I do get some weird questions. It's like the weightlifting thing. People were afraid, and I have seen where there's an increase in likelihood that you will get a hernia if you have, fluid in your stomach when you're picking stuff up. So, you should always be careful and definitely talk to your doctor about it. But, me personally, getting out and working in the yard, I move around good sized logs because I like to turn stuff on the lathe. So being able to have a log that I can get from because one of the neighbors cut down a black walnut tree, and I was able to get some good sized logs, and I can promise you they were not 30 pounds, they were well over, and didn't cause me any trouble. I wouldn't recommend you going out powerlifting 150 pounds while you have a 3-liter solution in your stomach, but normal picking up things should not be an issue. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. I hope you guys are doing good.